Hey everyone, I was going to make this video for anyone who's interested in playing Animation Throwdown um, and trying to figure out what to do here in 2024 when the game has been out for such a long time. So pretty much I'm just going to give a tutorial on what the game is, how to play it, what all the card types are, what the important modes are, and then just some general personal thoughts about the game. Um, when you first start playing, you will begin with the adventure mode. It's the first thing that's unlocked and the first thing that you'll start doing to unlock cards and progress in the game, gain experience, level up your hero so that you can unlock some of the other more fun modes in the game. You pretty much, it's going to be hard to show here, but there's 4 tiers of difficulty on each island. So you have to complete 3 matches at that difficulty tier to complete it and get the card reward. And so with each tier, it gets more difficult, but also with each tier, typically the rewards get better. It's really important early on for getting some character cards and item cards, even though you're not going to get anything better than an epic, which is the blue cards. In terms of gameplay, I'll pop in with this deck just to give a general idea of what you're going to be doing when you play. There's 3 types of important cards. You're going to have your character cards, which are characters from the shows. You'll see that they have, I don't know if you can see my points, but on the right side of the character card, you're going to see their attack and their HP, signified by the hammer symbol and the heart. And then Krieger, in this case, has 3 separate skills on the character card. This is what makes the game interesting for the most part, is the balance of character skills and trying to counter your opponents. He's got skills that you can read here. Boost, whenever you make a combo, he gains additional attack. Bomb is whenever he attacks enemies to the left and right of the card that he attacks, you're going to take that amount of bomb damage to them. And then gas, after the card gets attacked, they will take an additional gas damage at the end of their next turn after their card attacks. Then you have item cards. These are pretty much just character cards, but the opposite. They're going to be items and events from different parts of the show. Everything about these is pretty much the same, but what's important about them is, we'll put on our Krieger first. He's going to have something to work with. My daughter wants some milk, so I'm going to go grab her that. 2. All right, so you have Krieger here. If I want to play another Krieger, nothing important, you just would throw down another Krieger. But if I use this HR Dolphin card, which is the item card or an object card, like I talked about earlier, you'll see that Krieger is flashing, the ones on the battlefield and the ones in hand, but you can only combo onto the one on the battlefield. And as you see, now it's going to do something completely different. So just to give you a heads up, if you're going to end up playing this game, you're going to see this card combo a lot, because it's... One moment, let me get my daughter her milk. All right, girl, here you go. Milk time. So you know, I made her a bottle of milk, and then she ran away from me. Kids, am I right? Alrighty. Very unprofessional, but thank you for bearing with me. So I combined the HR Dolphin card and the Krieger card to make this card the wheel. This you see right here with the little teddy bear. This is a toy trait card. I didn't focus on it earlier, but that HR Dolphin card is a toy card. So characters sometimes have a trait, but typically the trait is more important for the object card, because when you make a combo, it's going to have the trait based off of what the object card is, regardless of what the hero's or character's trait could be. Now you're clicking all over the place. So I combined those two cards and made something significantly stronger in the wheel. These are some of the best skills in the game. Craze, whenever it attacks and successfully deals at least a point of damage, it will gain a bunch of additional attack each time it successfully does so. Cripple Wall is whenever it's its turn, it's going to reduce the damage that all other cards can do with their basic attack by 27. And Bodyguard prevents your character from getting hit by some of the projectile skills, things like punch and gas, which you'll figure out later. Last type of card type, which you're going to also see a ton of, especially this one here in particular, is going to be a PC card. You see down there at the bottom left under Futurama, it says Power Card. A Power Card is a combo that you could make, but in a weaker form, but you don't have to combo it. You can just play it immediately. This can allow you to get on board faster than your opponent because they may be having to make manual combos while you're just throwing down pre-combos or power combos, and then you can just have your cards that are unblocked get through and deal lethal damage. This card's especially good because it hijacks, so it steals Craze like that last card had. It has Cripple All like that last card had, and also has Shield All, which protects all other cards from regular damage and projectile damage until it's stripped away. You have heroes you can choose. The hero you choose is going to determine your health, and then also the hero is going to have certain skills as well that trigger at the beginning of each turn. Lana is an especially good one, but she costs money just to be upfront. Let's get out of this match because this one's a joke. And then you get rewards for completing matches. In terms of gameplay, there's really not much more to speak about than that. You will be building decks based off of the cards you get. Each couple weeks or something like that, I believe it's every 2 or 3 weeks, is going to be a battleground effect. Where is it? Am I tripping? Oh. Click on this. Boom. All right, so we're in the drunk battleground effect. So all the object cards and power combo cards that are drunk are going to get this bonus, which is Craze and Motivate equal to 20% of their base health. They have 30% increased health, or excuse me, base attack. 30% increased health, and then they get healed each turn by 20%. So during that time period, typically you're encouraged to play those traits of cards because they're overpowered in comparison to other cards, unless those cards are especially strong. Bunch of different resource systems in this game. It's a typical random draw type of game. So, mythic stones and mythic object stones, those are the highest quality of cards. You can only have one of each card. So you can only have one mythic Krieger, but you could theoretically have 100 legendary Kriegers. Even though, why would you do that? You get 1,000 mythic stones, and then you get a choice of 3 mythic characters to choose from, either to unlock or to upgrade if you already have them unlocked. Object stone is the exact same thing, but with object cards. Super legendary stone acts similarly, where you get 3 choices, but you get 3 choices of legendary cards from a specific pool of cards. There's plenty of cards that are decent enough where these are worth pulling. Elite stones are pretty rare, but same type of concept. Power stones, greater epic stones, just give you a card without you having a choice. They're typically epic cards, which are weak unless you're at the very beginning of the game and you don't really need them. Legendary power stones are what you can use to get power combos as pre-made combo cards. You get a choice of 3, and there's a huge pool, so you can get good ones, but the likelihood is pretty low. So it's really not a super valuable resource that you should overestimate. These are energy refills that you can use to get more energy in the adventure mode. They have the same thing for arena, but I used all of mine. In order to be able to play those combos, you have to research them here. So I have all these researched already, but this amped up card and this Hank card I've never researched, so I don't know. If I had these cards in the deck, I wouldn't be able to make this combo. But if I research it here, use these speed ups to get it done. Now, if I put those 2 cards in my deck, the Amstrad Mythic and the Hank Mythic, I can make my high Hank combo. This one's an ad one, which is you can do it faster and you can watch some ads to speed it up. But they've recently changed how quickly you can research things, so it's kind of unnecessary because you can research stuff so fast in these. Um, this one is for combo mastery. You unlock this a little bit later on in the game, but it ends up being pretty important later on. As you can see, the Derby Brawling Luan on the left, 2263. And then you see the Derby Brawling Luan on the right. It has one silver crown. And then its stats are slightly better, 2469. And then also its skills are higher. As you can see, Mastery 1 gives a 10% boost. You can get up to Combo Mastery 5. For Mastery 1 through 4, each one is represented by an additional silver crown. Then if you have CM5, you get the gold crown like I have on these one-man band combos. That means you have CM5, that means it's boosted by 30%. CM1 is a 10% boost, CM2 a 20% boost. And then after that, I believe CM3 is like 24, and then it's 27, and then it's 30% boost. So you get diminishing returns past CM2, but that extra 10% can really matter when you get up to the higher levels of cards. So we talked about Adventure Mode, which is where you unlock some cards. There's multiple islands, so you have the Classic Campaign, an Archer Island that's much harder, but has some better rewards. Same thing for the Futurama Island. And then right now, since we're in the Halloween event, there's a special Halloween Adventure Island that you can go to. It's not always open. It's going to be available for a limited time. The card rewards are pretty good, but this is the hardest island out of the four, and unless you have a pretty good deck, you're not going to be able to complete all of it. Outside of that, there's this Arena Mode. Arena Mode is just where you play a match against an opponent, and whoever's deck wins. You go second, but their first card can't attack immediately or attack the second turn, so you get a little bit of time to build up. But Arena can be quite a challenge. When you complete matches, when you win, you can get hero tokens. Like I'm getting hero tokens for Lana when I win, and these stones, and then the Nixon currency. Nixons are coins that you can use to buy packs. Those are just the most basic, easy cards to get. You have a chance to get a legendary when you pull from them, so they are worth pulling from. You can get a pack that has guaranteed rares or a pack that has guaranteed epics. Typically, I would just go and pull as many basics as possible. I would never spend the gems on those two, so we're just not going to talk about it. And then if you use these golden packs, I'll just waste one because why not? You're guaranteed to get a card for the Battleground trade. That's why I got this Drunk card. The longer you play the game, the less worthwhile these are. So, like early on, if you don't have any cards, I recommend kind of just spending your turds. And then after a few months, maybe you'll not get as much value from doing them, and then you can start saving. There are events that happen. There are challenges. These are 2 challenges that you play against AI cards. The rewards aren't that good, but it's consistent and easy. You can auto them if you want and still get decentish rewards. Man, there's a lot of stuff to explain in this game, isn't there? During each Battleground effect, during like that 2 or 3 week period, you get placed into a bracket based on when you log in. And based on like what type of cards you open and the activity that you do, how much arena you play, how much you win, and things like that, you earn points. And then at the end of the Battleground effect, you get rewards based off of your points. And then most importantly, especially for new players, is once you reach these point thresholds, regardless of where you rank, you get these milestone rewards, which are pretty decent. Guild events are probably the most fun part of the game. Siege is starting soon because it happens every Sunday. You choose a defensive island to put yourself on and a defensive deck. Usually your guild will organize all of this, and then once Siege starts, you will organize your attacks on the opponent's islands, try to reduce the HP. Once the island goes down to 0, you get a bonus 1,000 points, and the island is considered destroyed. You can still attack on it, but typically you want to move on to another island so you can get multiple islands down for the bonus points. This is kind of like the bread and butter of why people play the game in the most fun mode. It's the most strategic at a point where card quality still matters a ton, but there's a little bit of wiggle room for tactics and ability and doing the right thing. The other guild-based mode is Rumble. Rumble happens. Say that. Say that. We did great. You know, I'm not sure that we did great last Rumble. See, look at that. 11. 11's pretty damn good. And we were 6 in points. Look at us. Defeat. Yeah, we definitely played the best guild and definitely lost. Anyways, this is an event that lasts for 5 days. Each day you have 23 hours to do 10 attacks, and it's using the battleground effect buffs. And the difference about this mode compared to other modes is that you get to attack first. And then pretty much you get points from, like, I think the lowest I've ever seen is 5. So, like, if you lose really badly, you will only get, like, 5 points. But if you win and, like, none of your cards take damage and your heroes have full HP, you'll get, like, 100 points. And so that mode is a lot about min-maxing to see how you can beat your opponent as fast as possible while also keeping your cards alive and as healthy as possible to get the most amount of points. Because you can win all 10 matches and then lose a bunch of points each match and perform worse than someone who went 9-1. 10 matches a day for 5 days. That's it, and that will fulfill your responsibilities to your guild. Also, for this one, you set a defense deck as well for the run. All right. So you research your combos, you build decks based on what the battleground effect is, and once you get a little bit farther along in the game and you get far along in the arena mode, you will unlock what are they called? Melee and class matches. This one coming up is a Cleveland Melee, so every Cleveland card and combo gets a huge buff. And then it's like 6 matches you can play for a 4-day streak. Each time you win, you get like a certain amount of trophies, and then the more you win in a row, the more the amount of trophies that you get goes up. And at the end of the 4 days, whoever scored the most points based off of those trophies will get card rewards. Anyone in the top 1,000 gets rewards that are pretty decent. Everyone outside 1,000 doesn't get anything, but there's also milestone rewards you get for playing it, which are worth a lot just to do. So even if you don't finish in the top 1,000, it's always worth at least letting the computer play that mode because there's good rewards to get. There's so many currencies, and the game explains them when they come along, and you can always ask questions in the Discord, anything like that. But mastery stones are how you buy combo masteries to make your combos stronger. There's all types of packs. These challenge coins can be used on hero tokens, or they can be used on super epic packs, which have low odds for cards, but they also have every single card in the game in the card pool. Giggity Watch and you can use to upgrade cards. I need to go over that too. As you can tell, I don't have a script. Family Guy, that'll work. Yeah, Brian, that'll work. Alright, so this is a regular Brian. As you can see, he's pretty weak. His power, even though he's maxed out in level, is 66 out of 94. As you'll see, this one has a little different graphic in terms of the top left of the card. This is a fuse card because you took 2 regular Brians and you combine them to make one fuse Brian, which is going to be stronger in every way in general. As you can see, he has 2 more attack, 8 more HP, and then his skills are higher. There's one additional level, which is Quad, which is where you have, it's 4 unfused cards, which become 2 fused cards, which become 1 Quad. Quad is the maximum upgrade level. And as you can see, the longer you play, the more quads you get. Certain characters are easier to get quads for than others. Typically, you want to keep some characters so that you can play the melee and clash modes, but fusing your cards and quadding your cards really does increase the power by a good amount, so there is a balance to that. Whew, boy. Last but not least, for now, is they've been doing this like pretty much every month lately. It used to be a little bit more limited time, but I think at this point, they kind of want it to be like a consistent every single month mode, so I might as well explain it so I don't think it's limited time anymore. You play matches against the CPU, and they have a couple different heroes and a couple different decks that you go up against. As you win matches, the strength the CPU decks get stronger to the point where they get like extremely crazy. The numbers get super high because all the cards get buffed. To help you battle with that, when you win matches, you get coins. You can use those coins to upgrade these heroes. Um, as you can see, this Brian upgrades my hijack by 50%, and then the swole coins that I receive from winning matches by 250%. Um, so while your opponent's cards are getting like stronger and up to crazy amounts, you can do the same thing as well, um, where you have 150% increased health for all of your Futurama cards, and you're trying to get up to at least 100 because 100 is where you max out on the milestone rewards. But honestly, if you get up to 80, that's pretty good. 100 is pretty hard if you don't have insane cards or a really good strategy. All right, I'm going to say that that's good for now. If you have cards you're not going to use anymore, you can recycle them to get giggity watts that you can use to upgrade your cards. You can use and quad more of them. That's most of the basics. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I can try to make an addendum or another video or something. Y'all take it easy.